So today we'll see unit number 2, that is shaft, keys and coupling. In today's lecture, we'll just briefly see regarding the types of shafts. What is shaft and what are the types of shaft? So when we say shaft, what comes in your mind? You can just unmute yourself and tell me what is the idea or concept you can think when I say shaft.
A long cylindrical bar used for transmitting power.
Yes, Durva, Devre.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are right. Long cylindrical shaft. Cylindrical means it depends. It is regarding to the cross section. Though, so generally the cross section of shaft is round. It will be always circular, and it is used for transmission purpose. Any other concept? Anybody else? What is shaft? Transmitting energy from one end to another end. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Now let us go for the definition of shaft. When I say shaft, it is related to transmission. So generally we say that it is a transmission shaft. The transmission shaft is a rotating machine element, circular in cross section, which supports transmission elements like gears, pulleys, and sprocket, and transmit power. So whatever you had told earlier, all the points are covered in this definition. It is a rotating machine element. That is first part. Circular in cross section. So the cross section of shaft is round, which supports transmission elements like gears, pulleys, and sprocket. And it transmits power. It transmits power energy from one end to another end. So that is the definition of shaft. The shaft is always stepped with maximum diameter in the middle portion and minimum diameter at the two ends where bearings are mounted. Now see, when we talk about shaft, it is used for transmitting the power from one part to another part, from machine to some other gearbox or some other element through some devices like gears, pulleys, and sprockets. So all these devices are to be mounted on the shaft and it is to be transmitted. So the shaft is to be fixed in some housing, and to fix it, as it is rotating, to avoid friction we need bearings. So the elements which are related to the shaft are the transmission elements like gear, pulleys, and sprocket, and supporting elements like bearings. So a shaft is not just a circular cross section throughout, it has steps to mount these different devices. Generally the middle portion will be larger and there will be steps according to the requirement. So if you see the transmission shaft sketch which is shown in the slide, to the very left end you can see a small end. Here generally the bearing will be mounted. Second step, where you can see the keyway groove, so there will be some other transmission element mounted, maybe a gear or a pulley or something like that. And third step is just to avoid the interference and axial movement of this particular component. Fourth step will be again for the bearing, and fifth is the output end, where again some uh, element like gear or pulley will be coupled to transmit it, and there will be the housing between these two bearings and the shaft will be rotating. So this is how the general structure of the shaft will be. The steps on the shaft provide shoulder for positioning transmission elements like gear, pulleys, and bearings. So this is the general structure of the shaft which you can see. Now, different types of shafts. So generally Frequently you had come across the term axle. So what is axle? Axle is used for the term axle is used for the shaft that supports rotating elements like wheels, hoisting drums or rope sleeves, and which is fitted to the housing by means of bearings. So here in a sketch you can see a bicycle, and generally we say that axle of a bicycle. So axle means what? It is supporting the wheel of the bicycle. The axle may not rotate, it is supporting the rotating element. So it's a type of shaft, generally a short stub shaft, which is supporting the rotating elements. Then the next word is spindle. So spindle is generally used for the machines, spindle of a lathe, spindle of a drilling machine. So what is spindle? A spindle is a short rotating shaft. Spindles are used in all machine tools such as small drive shaft of a lathe or a spindle of a drilling machine. To this spindle, we are attaching the devices like chuck of the lathe machine or chuck of the drilling machine. So that is a spindle, which is just a small stub rotating shaft. The axle may be stationary, but the spindle will be always the rotating shaft. Then third type is the counter shaft. So what is counter shaft? It is a secondary shaft which is driven by the main shaft and from which the power is supplied to the machine component. So here in the sketch, you can see the input shaft to the left side and twin counter shaft are attached to it. So input is given to the input is given to the left side. The gear will rotate in clockwise direction, and these two counter shafts will rotate in anti-clockwise direction, and they will transmit the power to the other end where it is driving the output shaft. So input and output, these are two different shafts. Power from input shaft is transferred to the output shaft with the help of some intermediate shaft that is called as the counter shaft, maybe a single or maybe double twin as shown in the sketch. So counter shaft is a secondary shaft which is used for transmission purpose. Then inline shaft. Inline shaft means a line shaft consists of a number of shafts which are connected in axial direction by means of coupling. So it is similar to the counter shaft type, but in counter shaft they are not in one line. So input and output are in one line as shown in the sketch A, and counter shaft are parallel to that. But in case of line shaft, all the intermediate transmission lines will be also in the same axis. So that's why it is called as line shaft. So here you can see a motor which is having a coupling. Then it may be having a gearbox for reduction or increase of the speed. Then again one more coupling, one more device where again the reduction or increase of the speed will be there, and then the runner or pulley or whatever is there, that will be attached. So everything is in one axis, that is in one line, that is called as the line shaft. So now these were the types of shafts which were seen, that is axle, spindle, counter shaft and line shaft. Now whatever shaft we need to design, let us first see the material of the shaft. So in general, we say that the shaft are made of steel, but depending on its composition and the mixture, it may have the different nomenclature. Like the ordinary transmission shafts are made of medium carbon steel with a carbon content from 0.15 to 0.4%, such as 30 C8 or 40 C8. So this is the general category of shaft which we are using, that is 30 C8 or 40 C8. These are called as the machinery steels. But if you want higher strength, where greater strength is required, high carbon steel, such as 45C8 or 50C8 or alloy steels are employed. So medium carbon steel 30C8 to 40C8 for medium working conditions, and for conditions which require greater strength will have high carbon steel 45C8 to 50C8, or even if we need more strength, that can be obtained by the alloy steels. So what are alloy steels? What does this include? Alloy steel include nickel chromium or molybdenum steel. So depending on the combination of these alloys and the percentage, the different designations of the steel shaft will be. Common grade of alloy steels used for making transmission shafts are 16Mn5 Cr4. That gives you the percentage of molybdenum, that gives you the percentage of chromium and carbon. So this type of steel, can you hear me? Hello? Okay, so this steel.
Yes, sir.
So if we need higher strength, then we go for the alloy steel. Various combination of alloy steels are shown depending on the percentage of nickel, chromium and molybdenum and their combinations. We have the different grade of the alloy steels. So this is all regarding the material. Now why we are going for the alloy steels? What are the advantages of the alloy steels? So alloy steels are costly compared with plain carbon steels. However, alloy steels have higher strength, hardness and toughness. So as compared to the cost, they will provide us strength, hardness and toughness. So it depends on the functionality of the shaft if we want to go for the alloying or not. Then alloy, it also has high value of hardness and strength and can be achieved for components with large section diameters. Alloy steel possesses higher resistance to corrosion compared with plain carbon steel. So generally in case of turbines and the shafts devices which are subjected to moisture or water content, we are referring the alloy steels. Therefore, in some applications, these advantages justify the higher cost of the alloy steel. Now, this was all regarding the types of the shaft and material of the shaft. Now, when we will design the shaft, design of shaft is based on three criteria. First one is based on the strength. So depending on the loading, we will design the shaft on the strength basis. Generally, this particular concept of design is used. In addition to that, this we have design of shaft based on torsional rigidity, where more torque is there, where it is subjected to higher torque value twist. There we design the shaft for the torsional rigidity, and also where axial loading, more axial loading is there, that we go for the lateral rigidity. Though, so the design of shaft, when we will be talking about, it will be based on the strength, it will be based on torsional rigidity, and it will be based on the lateral rigidity. When I talk about strength, we will design the shaft based on the axial loading subjected, the shafts which are subjected to axial load, or the shaft which are subjected to bending movements, or the shaft subjected to the twisting movement, or combination of this, maybe combination of bending and twisting. So when this type of criteria are there, then we will go for the design on the basis of strength. When combined bending and twisting is there, we will use two theories of failure for that. One is principal stress theory and one is maximum shear stress theory. So this is all regarding the design of the shaft.